Hey, everyone. Imagine this. You're out shopping, and suddenly everything, your clothes, your groceries, even your favorite electronics, cost a lot more. Why? Well, today, we're talking about tariffs, specifically the controversial Trump tariffs. Love him or hate him, Donald Trump once said, "To me, the most beautiful word in the dictionary is tariff." Let me ask you, do you agree? Could tariffs really save the US economy? Or are they just another tax on all of us and political soundbite? By the end of this video, you'll know the truth about tariffs, how they work, whether they cause inflation, and if Trump's proposed 10% tariff on all imports is even realistic. But first, let's hear from the man himself. It's a tax on foreign countries. Tariffs will save our country. Only stupid or corrupt people don't want to use them. Alright, strong words, but what's really going on here? Let's dive in. First things first, what exactly is a tariff? A tariff is essentially a tax placed on goods imported into a country. Think of it as a tool to make foreign products more expensive, so American-made goods can compete better. Here's a quick example. Let's say a Toyota Camry costs $30,000, but it's made in Japan. With a 10% tariff, there's now a $3,000 tax slapped onto it. That means the Toyota would now cost $33,000 to sell in the US. The idea is that you, the consumer, might think, hey, maybe I'll just buy an American car instead, it's cheaper. It also pushes companies like Toyota to manufacture their products here in America, creating jobs and infrastructure. Sounds good, right? But here's the catch, tariffs aren't free. They often come with costs, like higher prices for everyone. Let's talk about inflation, because this is where tariffs start to sting. Did you know that 97% of all clothing in the US is imported? Look at the tag on your shirt. Chances are, it was made in Bangladesh, Vietnam, or China. Why? Because it's way cheaper to produce there. Workers in Bangladesh earn about 87 cents an hour, and their factories have fewer regulations. If we slap a 10% tariff on all those imports, what happens? Your clothes get 10% more expensive. Multiply that across everything you buy, groceries, electronics, furniture, and voila, higher prices everywhere. That's inflation. Let's make it real. Say Walmart imports a vacuum cleaner for $100, then sells it to you for $150. With a 10% tariff, Walmart now pays a $10 tax, and guess what? They pass that cost on to you. Suddenly, that vacuum costs $160. So yes, tariffs are inflationary. But here's the real question. Do the pros outweigh the cons? Supporters of tariffs, like Trump, argue they're worth it. Why? Job creation. Tariffs encourage companies to manufacture goods in the US, creating American jobs. For example, in the 1960s, the US slapped a 25% tariff on imported pickup trucks. Companies like Toyota responded by building factories here. That's why so many Toyota trucks are now made in America. Tax revenue. A 10% tariff on all imports could generate $400 billion in revenue annually. That's about 8% of the government's current tax collections. Economic security. Relying on other countries, especially for critical goods, can be risky. Tariffs aim to reduce that dependency. Trump's pitch. Take that $400 billion in new revenue, and use it to cut taxes for American families. Sounds good on paper, right? But here's the flip side, higher prices for consumers. When costs rise, you pay more, for everything from clothing to cars to electronics. And if there aren't enough made in America alternatives, you're stuck paying more. Strained global relations. Tariffs can spark trade wars. Remember when China retaliated against Trump's tariffs by slapping their own tariffs on US goods? That hurt American farmers and exporters. Limited government revenue. While $400 billion sounds like a lot, it's not enough to fund the entire government. The US government spends nearly $6 trillion annually. Tariffs would only cover a fraction of that. So, will Trump's 10% tariff on all imports actually happen? Short answer. Probably not. Here's why. Under the U.S. Constitution, Congress, not the President, controls tariffs. Trump would need to convince Congress to approve it, which is no small feat. Even with Republican control, there's division within the party. What's more likely? Trump may introduce targeted tariffs, like the ones he imposed on Chinese imports during his first term. These are easier to justify and less inflationary. Now, let's zoom out. Tariffs can boost domestic industries, but they come at a cost, higher prices for you and me. So the real question is, do tariffs make sense in today's global economy? 100 years ago, tariffs funded 93% of the federal government's revenue. But back then, the government was much smaller. Today, it's grown 10 times larger, and tariffs alone can't support it. So, what do you think? Are tariffs the solution to America's economic problems, or will they just make life more expensive? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear your take on this. And hey, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Together, let's break down the big economic issues that impact all of us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.